give her another chance. But first, fuck gets it.
Okay, let me get him, baby, I ain't sparing shit. Everybody gotta get it. Every motherfucking car nigga riding in his tenant. They ain't heard nothing from Carolinas in a minute. Get them, need to ride until she finish. I get them niggas 10, 20,000, make a spin. Or pull a pistol out, make you holler if you hear me. Two pretty bitches looking out the window saying, dick.
I have literally dreaded making this video for the longest time, and it's not because I've been busy. No, it's because literally everything I've been doing in this game has been building up to this exact video. Every maxed out Descendant, every maxed out weapon, every amorphous material opened, every Colossi defeated, every core gotten from the Purge, every level beaten in the Void Erosion, all led up to this one video. Yes, I had to beat the whole game just to build Gley, so I believe my hatred for her is justified. But that's not what this video is about. I did say a lot of hurtful things about her, which I can now maturely admit that I was wrong about. I hate her. I hate her with every fiber of my being. It's not her, it's me. Because of her. Bro, what are you even doing here? Every Descendant has a rechargeable shield that at least acts as an extra lifeline if your health is low. And then there is you. Literally no shields. Literally no shields. Literally no shields. Firstly, I apologize about the no shields claim. I had no idea that shields are almost completely useless in this game. Unless you're building around a specific Descendant whose abilities depend on how much shield they have, of which there clearly aren't a lot of Descendants who need that kind of build. I like how unique her abilities are and how they drain her health instead of her MP. Makes you think up a more tactical approach before entering missions, unlike everybody's favorite mobbers who basically just cast one or two abilities and clear the whole mission effortlessly. My experience may have been different from other people, but I feel like the extra layer of difficulty you get from avoiding certain death while also casting abilities that drain your health makes playing Gley more exciting in missions she's not supposed to be used in. You continue to bitch about your daughter who, by the way, would probably make a better Descendant than you. Can we all just take a moment to appreciate the fact that I kinda predicted this shit before we even knew what the storyline of Season 2 Part 2 was? I mean, there weren't a lot of people expecting an evil Daya alias, but I somehow predicted some sort of fight, proving that Daya is not only a Descendant but also a more powerful Descendant than Gley. Shit, I can't wait for her to become a playable Descendant in the next season. Anyways, I apologize for that line though. Any mother will be worried if their child went missing in enemy territory, but instead of leaving it to the authorities or other people's efforts to help find her missing child, she went on about it alone and didn't make anybody's problem that Daya was missing. She's like me for all. I'd rather do shit alone than risking asking assistance and tremendously slowing down my progress. I like to believe if I achieve anything, I did it without anybody's help and I can stand on business with it, so I owe nobody nothing. One of your abilities reduces your health while making you Super Saiyan, except you're more likely to die after you power up. I don't understand your ability set. The first ability does... I have no idea. The second ability apparently coexists with the first ability, which I still have no idea what it does. The third ability at least steals health from nearby enemies, and the more enemies around her, the more health she will steal back. Which means nothing if you're going to die from being surrounded by that many enemies while having no shields. Your final ability makes you grey faster and literally puts you 1 foot into the grave. It doesn't matter to me that the lower her health, the more damage she deals. She just doesn't belong on the battlefield. Trust me, if you want a medic type Descendant, go for Eugen instead. Watching that whole clip back makes me feel embarrassed like crazy. I couldn't have given out more misinformation than that even if I tried. So I was completely wrong about her ability sets. Every ability she has is extremely useful, except probably the fourth ability, because she's already a gun running Descendant, and when you've built up on another weapon, her fourth just seems to become useless. So her first ability increases firearm damage, standard. Her second steals health and can do even more damage to enemies if you have the right Transcendence mod equipped. Her third gives you infinite ammo for a defined period of time, and her fourth gives you a gun. I hope this gun is just as useless to everyone else as it is for me, because I don't plan on making any more apology videos. All her abilities, except the last, are super useful, most especially when you take into account the type of Descendant that she is and what her abilities do. Since her abilities don't directly affect the enemy, it's understandable for her first to increase firearm damage. Since her abilities drain her health instead of MP, it's understandable that her second steals health from nearby enemies. And since you're going to be running through a lot of ammo while using your first ability, it's understandable that her third is going to give you infinite ammo for a short duration that you need it, probably while killing a boss or a colossi. I'm honestly happy you guys corrected me on her, because I wouldn't have understood her synergy in the game if I hadn't given her a second chance. Oh, and also I realized much later in the game that she is way more useful than Eugen, so yeah, I apologize for that disrespect. No hate on Eugen either though, I'm just going according to the statistics. Okay, now with that out of the way, I still hate Gley so fucking much. Not because of her abilities. If that were the case, then I'd hate Luna, but nah, Luna is safe for now. I hate Gley because of how much stress I went through trying to make her playable in the first place. Call it skill issues, but I spent nothing less than 2 weeks leveling her up and resetting her levels just to equip the mods that make her actually get through missions fast enough. And even after watching all the tutorials and build guides and getting all the mods equipped, she still wasn't as broken as I'd hoped. It's understandable to an extent though. She's a gun running Descendant, so her success depends on how built your guns are. She can only really amplify the firepower of her weapons so much, but if the weapon is shooting marshmallows, then the best she can do is upgrade it to glorified squishy mothballs. And then this is where completing the whole game comes into play, because remember in my last The First Descendants video where I mentioned how my most powerful weapon only does about 700k DPS? Yeah, that was the only weapon I had invested into, and even that wasn't enough to make Gley useful yet. So what did I do? I watched more tutorials, and that led me to having to grind out multiple copies of multiple weapons, waiting multiple hours on end for each individual weapon to finish crafting just so I can craft another weapon. Keep in mind, you can only really craft about 6 or 7 items at a time. Grinding out countless fine adjustment control axes to get the perfect rolls for each weapon, which is entirely RNG based, and then finally having to get perfect cores for each weapon to make them actually deal the most damage possible. At some points midway through the grind, I realized that I wasn't getting any more XP towards my mastery rank, so I decided to play around a bit with the new Descendant, Serena, just to contribute to my mastery rank. I was fully convinced at this time that Gley will be the only Descendant I'll ever need if I can build her properly, so I was just half-assing my Serena grind while leveling her up. Then that's when I started to question everything I had been doing for the last 2 months. I said it myself that a new Descendant will be released, but I never bothered to look at the part that detailed that she will be a gun-running Descendant as well. I grinded out said Descendants and didn't bother leveling her up because I was super focused on Gley. I was stuck on Purge level 21 because my Inez couldn't get past that stage before the time had run out, so all I could do was grind out level 20 multiple times just to craft a handful of level 10 cores and never get the rolls I needed for my guns. All that stress just so I could level up my Serena and immediately see that she's a much better Gley. Not only could she handle large hordes without a weapon, she also amplifies firearm damage more than Gley could. Her build didn't have to rely on how powerful your weapon was. You could have a gun running build or a kamikaze build depending on situation. I saw all this and wasn't ready to believe I spent 2 months of grinding just for a new Descendant to come by and overshadow all my hard work and efforts within 2 days. But I didn't let that stop me. I used Serena, who now seemed to be the meta, to clear up to Purge level 30 and get all the level 10 cores I needed for the weapons that will hopefully make Gley worth the 2 months I had invested in the game. Again, remember in the last video where I said I was stuck at Gluttony because of his bitch ass pulling this move whenever he got cornered? My top priority at this point was to build up my Gley so I could beat every colossi in the game without an issue, averaging about 15 seconds at least. I didn't have any plans to get high rankings on the leaderboards because I'm not the competitive type by any means. If I decided to do that, then I'd play no other game just to make sure I'm topping every leaderboard for every Descendant. But I have a job that involves playing games. Plural. I can't spend all my time playing only one game because I might lose interest in it, and what's the point in making a career in playing games if I hate every second of playing the same game over and over again? Anyways, fast forward to literally just a few days ago, I had finally gotten all the perfect rolls and cores needed for the weapons, except one. Weak points damage for the last dagger. After following a YouTube tutorial to the T on a Gley build that deletes the Tormentor in 4 seconds, I thought at least that one roll won't be necessary. I mean, All my level 10 cores are either gold or purple rolls, so surely one simple readjustment won't make a difference, right? Okay, so clearly that readjustment is very crucial for this build to be successful. That being said, I spent a very long time rerolling for weak point damage and never got it once. So I settled for the next best thing, my already built ACG. Now sure, it didn't get rid of the Tormentor like I hoped it had, but it was easily able to take down every other Colossi without almost any stress on my part. So I had finally done it. I had finally fulfilled the one true purpose I had for grinding out this Descendant, but at the cost of everything. While it took me 2 whole months to fully grind out Gley and the equipment she will be needing to be a good bosser, I quite literally finished all the content the game had to offer to achieve it. And I also fully built up my Serena, who, no joke, easily tanks through Void Erosion 30, defeats every Colossi within 15 seconds, and is just an all-around perfect Descendant. She may not be as fast as Freyna or Inez or even Bonnie when it comes to mobbing, but she can mob nevertheless, and she's really good at it too. Oh, seriously, my main objective was to make Gley my all-round Descendant that I can use for any and every mission, but turns out Serena easily takes that spots, and with much less effort. Oh, and all without the risk of losing health instead of MP while casting ability. So yes, I was wrong about Gley and her usefulness before, but after everything I've been through while grinding her, does the results really justify the efforts from my side? I'd say no. She was great before part 2 dropped. She was great from the start. I just never realized her true power back then. But now, with Serena's abilities, with the amount of effort I put into building her and the equipment she uses, she has now become just another Descendant on my roster, which I probably won't be using much now with my Haley and Serena surpassing her in every mission I do. Like my last video, everything I said here is entirely my experience and opinion and shouldn't be viewed as a general thing. Maybe your experience building Gley was different from mine, maybe your Gley is more powerful than every other Descendant you have, but to me, she still remains just Gley. Now with that out of the way, like I said before, I've finished all the content I could possibly do in this game just trying to build Gley, meaning I have almost no more motivation to keep playing the game, or at least until more new content comes out. This person was right, once you get to end game, you become a seasoned veteran. Don't get me wrong, I'll still play the game every now and then, but I'm not like the other The First Descendant creators. I don't analyze every aspect of the game with math and semi-complex charts. I play the game for the fun it has to offer, not to analyze numbers and figure out which mod works best for which weapon depending on the statistics given by the game. So as long as there's no further content to explore in the game, I'll be digressing towards other games in the meantime. But if you have content ideas, please let me know down in the comments. I'll be sure to look through them all. That will be all for this video. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video or this type of content formats in general. Alright, I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace.